With MCC 23 just around the corner, it's once again time to predict where each team will place this tournament. So, who will lose, who will win, and who will shock the world? These are my predictions for MCC 23. But before we begin, these are just my predictions and opinions. So if yours differ from mine, why not leave them in the comments section below? And whilst you're down there, remember to subscribe. It would mean the world to me if you did, and it's just a button, so please consider it. But with that being said, let's jump into it with 10th place, the Pink Parrots. It's very difficult for me to put the Pink Parrots in last on these predictions for a variety of reasons. To start off with, this is a really fun team full of charm. Ranboo and Wilbur once again join up and are joined by the wonderful Amesy for their first canon event, as well as Blushy, who once again returns. Along with that, it's difficult to predict them last because to me, them and 9th are both very close to each other, having a variety of quite strong players who are just lacking a leader to take them to the top. However, the main reason I don't want to put them in 10th is if they come anywhere higher, Wilbur will publicly call me out on my predictions and I'll be shunned by the community for my ridiculous opinions and will disappear to never make a video again. Anyway, my therapist said I have some issues, so I think it's best we move on to 9th place, the Blue Bats. As I said, it's really close for me between the brilliant Blue Bats and the Pink Parrots for this event, as the newly crowned MCC champion Captain Sparkles is joined by a host of wonderful players, including his partner in crime Kara Corvus, chaotic legend Sneak Snag, and the man who can survive a million days in Minecraft, SB737. For a team that on paper is very strong, with them all being past champions. However, it's once again the lack of an S tier to take them to the top that worries me. Because whilst SB has been doing really well recently, even sitting in the top 10 for the season as a whole, there is a lack of playing time for both him and Sneak Snag that could hamper this team greatly, as they have to get used to the changes and new games in the roster. Which unfortunately means that to me, this team could only get as high as 9th. However, as with every team, I hope they prove me wrong. 8th place, the Green Geckos. It's dreaming time as we get to my most controversial prediction with the Green Geckos, as I predict the 3 S tiers of Connor, Tina and Foolish will struggle to take Dream to victory in this event. I mean, it's basically like playing with an anchor strapped to you. He's just that bad. But for real, I know this will be a very controversial prediction, but whilst the Foolish and Dream combo is proven from the Pride event, this will be a lot trickier with more experienced players and competitive teams. They are joined by the hilarious Connor Eats Pants, who will aim to beat Pizza Hut once again, as well as finally Tina, who will look to get her revenge on To Get to the Other Side after the travesty in the Pride event. For me, this team once again lacks the experience needed for the event, and I can see Dream focusing too much on Foolish and himself rather than the team as a whole, which he's admitted he does sometimes in the past, although in my opinion, this would be rather foolish. Get it? Anyway, let's move on to 7th place, the Cyan Coyotes. Smager had to give himself the new S tier, didn't he? Jojo once again returns to the event with yet another team that doesn't look like it'll be competitive enough for the win. Joining her to start off with is Scott, who's looking to secure his 5th victory and the special 5-time win coin, which is probably why he placed himself with Jojo to help him get there. Along with him, Full Symmetry also joins the Coyotes, looking for her 4th victory, as well as the Queen of Hole in the Wall herself, Pearlescent Moon, who will be desperate to get her very first. Altogether, while this is an all-around strong team in the tournament, I can't see them competing too heavily, unfortunately, as they lack the strength in PvP and movement games, apart from JoJo, who I mean is incredible. However, we might see yet another brilliant build mark performance, like that shown by the Yellow Yaks in MCC Pride 22. Who knows, maybe they'll shock even me and make their way to Dodgebolt. 6th place, the Red Rabbits. Shovel completes the rainbow with her appearance in the Red Rabbits this tournament, with Ethan also joining in his first canon event, which is very exciting after he enjoyed himself so much in MCC Pride. However, the real heavy hitters on this team are CPK and TommyInnit, who are both coming into this tournament after wins in MCC 21 and 22, and are a duo to certainly look out for in this event, as I expect they'll excel at PvP games such as BattleBox and Sky Battle, with Shovel also giving her best to help the team to victory. What's different to the other teams that do not have an established S tier is this team has 3 really good players that can bounce off each other well, which for me is a really big advantage in any event. However, even so, they'll struggle to get into the top 5 and displace teams like 5th place, the like and subscribe Llamas. Yeah, that's right, you should like and subscribe if you're still watching, so you don't miss out on more great content in the future. But anyway, enough shilling, we come to the Llamas, who are extremely unlucky to just be in 5th place on my predictions. Because honestly, the top 5 is really close to each other, and they could easily be in 1st, especially since they have Illumina on this team. Coming off his 1st place individual in Pride 22, with his brilliant skill and leadership being able to beat any competition. He's joined by Solidarity, who's coming into this tournament after a strong performance in MCC 22, as well as Cubfan and Scar, who'll be taking part in his first event without either Green or Pizza Hut in his team. As previously mentioned, I do think this team is very good and could potentially challenge for the win, but what made me predict them only in 5th was their lack of a really strong secondary player to push Illumina up the leaderboards. They're a great unit together, however I just can't push them ahead of other teams like 4th place, the Aqua Axolotls. Another team that could be battling for the top spot in this event is the amazing Aqua Axolotls, as Puns will try and return to the top 3 individually for the first time since MCC 20 in this tournament, and he'll be helped by a pretty decent team, as Sylvie will once again try to make her mark on the tournament after her insane MCC 22 ace race, where she came in an astonishing 4th place. Along with her, we get the brilliant duo of Bad Boy Halo and Snifferish, who will bring some much needed support as well as good vibes to this team, which I can see helping massively in this event, especially since I can imagine the amount of chaos that Sylvie and Puns will bring. What stops them from being 3rd and beyond for me is just the other teams being better. I'm sorry, there isn't a complicated reasons. The other teams were just better. But talking of them, we start with 3rd place, the Orange Ocelots. Just missing out on Dodgebolt for me is the Orange Ocelots, with Quig yet again somehow not winning another MCC, which is a shame because it would also be a first win for In the Littlewood, who after the captain's victory is now the player with the most events without getting a win, which is a record I'm sure he'll want to shake before he becomes known as In the Little Curse. I do think, however, these two will do really well together, along with Finster, who's learnt that he can play as long as he's not wearing long nails, which to be honest is a bit of a shocker. And finally completing the team is Erit, who will bring her brilliant experience, having been to 4 Dodgebolts before. However, despite this, I just don't think this team will make it, once again being down to the other teams being ever so slightly better. However, I do wish them luck in this tournament to break both Quig's and Martin's curses. Second place, the Yellow Yaks. We finally get George and Sapnap in a team again for MCC 23, as they try and head for their first win together without Dream. And with this team, I think they definitely have a chance of doing just that, as they're joined by the wonderful Elena and Gumi, who will be able to steer them to victory, instead of arguing like they did in All Stars or in Manhunt. I think this team's bounced to perfection, and their teamwork will be vital to get them into Dodgeball, with so many great teams going to challenge them for it. However, if they do make it, they have a huge chance of winning, because of course Sapnap is some sort of Dodgeball god. I'm really excited to see them in action, and hope they're able to push for victory. However, talking of which, we come to first place, the Purple Pandas. It's a bit of a meme at this point that I think Pizza Hut will win. I mean, it's cursed some of my previous prediction videos, but this team surely has a huge chance of getting the victory. We start with the man himself, P, who will be desperate to get his 5th win and the special coin that comes with it. And with great leadership and some of the games going in their favour, they have a brilliant chance. Filza returns to the event after a mini hiatus and will certainly look to do his absolute best as he always does. And Smallish Beans will definitely have a shot at the top 10 yet again, which is very exciting. Finally, Ginelli looks to make it 2 Dodgeballs out of 3 events, which is an extremely impressive record with her great strategies and quick thinking plays. Altogether, they're the team to beat this tournament, and I can't see how they don't make Dodgeball, which is an extremely bold claim to make. However, with that, we've now reached the end of my predictions for MCC 23. As I said before, I'd love to see yours in the comments section below, and whilst you're down there, remember to also subscribe if you enjoyed the video. But there's one thing left to say now, which is to thank you for watching, and of course, peace.